guys, when they get the girl, mission accomplished. A lot of women look at it as the adventure just beginning. In their mind, this is where the fun starts. This is where it gets good.
For the average man to get a woman. Versus it's just the beginning for the woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, this is crazy. She's mingling and meeting all these people as well. So do not think you are safe because I'm a high value man and she wouldn't rock the boat with me. Nah, nigga. You have now introduced her to a circle where everyone is on an even playing field. Yo, what's going on, family? It's your boy Bolo, and I'm coming to you with another video for educational purposes only. Today, I want to talk about a clip that I seen from the Fresh and Fit podcast that I thought was very well done. Very informative for the most part, but I do think they are missing some things, some key things. The root of a lot of these issues. I always emphasize that they don't, either because they don't want to, because they don't want their audience to get mad at them. I don't know what it is. But we're going to cover it. But the main reason I'm bringing this up, this video, is because, men, we have the capability to bring power back that we've given up if you know how to control yourself. It's all comes down to us. But I'll get into it right now.
Any polygamists? What's your thoughts on that? You made a video about that.
I did. So you kind of have to read between the lines on the data. So there was a general social survey that was done recently that basically disclosed that in the last year, 1 out of 3 men under 30 did not have sex.
Yeah.
That's an incredible finding. The 20s are a really important decade for mating and dating. Mm-hmm. And this basically said that 1 in 3 guys were completely invisible. Yep. They were totally not even in the sexual marketplace.
I'm surprised it's only 1 in 3, to be honest. But I'm curious to see, were all the participants of this survey actually trying to have sex? Because there's a lot of guys that have just checked out of the sexual marketplace that really don't want anything to do with it. There's guys in the MGTOW, the Sigmas that are like, I could care less if it happens or not. I'm really not making an effort. Then you got guys that are, everything's about trying to, score some vagina. So I'm curious to see what was the demographic. Were all these guys actively trying to have sex, throughout the year? Or was it just like a mixed bag? Because then that would kind of skewer the results. You know what I mean? But I'm curious.
Mm-hmm. The comparable statistic for women in the same age group was 1 in 6. So 1 in 6 women under 30 did not have sex in the previous year. So if you do the math, this basically means that active participants in the sexual marketplace, there's 5 women for every 4 men. Mm-hmm. That means somebody's sharing somebody.
Yep.
I mean, the numbers don't add up.
Okay, so we have to get this out of the way. One, it's kind of exaggerated now, and we kind of have data to back it up more. But this has always been a thing, and it probably always will be a thing. I forgot the exact number, but you could Google it. But the majority of men that have existed on this planet did not procreate. And back then, there was no contraception, so if they didn't procreate, they probably weren't having any sex at all. Okay, so this concept of not every guy getting some, it's not new, it's not special, okay? It's not. Let's not ring the alarms like, oh my God. Like, a lot of guys weren't getting laid back then.
Absolutely.
So roughly, according to those statistics, 20% of women are in some sort of polygamous arrangement, whether they're aware of it or not.
True.
Now, does that mean that they're in a negotiated, open relationship?
At minimum, yeah.
Well, yeah. You also see the fact with respect to the distribution in body count, right? The top 1% of women have had 50 partners or more. The top 1% of men have had 150 partners or more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what we also see as a consequence of this is, I'm sure you talk about this on your channel, is hypergamy. Yeah. Women want to date for gain. We were talking about that.
Okay, so first off, that hypergamy word, I understand why it's thrown around, but I don't find it to be particularly necessary, because it's just a word to describe human, not female, human nature. It's just that in this dynamic, women are able to exercise that and act upon that feeling. But humans want better. We want more. Look at society. If we didn't have an inherent urge to have better and more, society wouldn't be what it is now. We wouldn't have planes. We would still be just riding horses because we'd be fine with it. I don't need this V6 engine. No, but we want more. We want better. And usually, if we can, we want it at a discount. If we could get it at a good deal, oh yeah, give me that. If someone told you trade in your beat up ass Honda for this Ferrari or this Mustang, how many of you guys are saying, no, I can't give my baby up? Unless you put in crazy bread into that car, or your father was on his bed dying like, son, don't give up that car. You're giving it up. But let's continue.
Earlier. And women are doing very well these days. Like in most quantifiable metrics, they're actually out earning men in the West under 30 without children.
Very true.
In that demographic.
Yeah.
They're more likely to graduate high school, college, postgraduate degrees.
Very true.
Absolutely.
Especially in income and education, they're doing really well relative to men.
Absolutely.
Which basically means that if they're continuing to hang on to their hypergamy, there's a smaller and smaller pool of men that they're ever going to even consider as a potential
And that's on
mate.
them.
Yep.
And these guys at the top enjoy unprecedented optionality.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you actually have a few guys who are having access to the vast majority of the sexual opportunity in the marketplace.
Yeah.
And the likelihood that any one of those guys at any given moment is going to give up all of that incredible optionality for
Absolutely.
this one woman is functionally very, very low.
Especially when he had to work.
That's
to get-
always been a thing, though. You look at Genghis Khan. He populated like what? A third? I forgot what the number is, but a crazy amount of like Asia. Kings always had a bunch of women and concubines. You go to the Bible, same thing. They like the top guys and the whatever in the churches, and it is what it is. The guys that led the armies, they had their wives, their concubines, their this, their that. This is a tale as old as time. That's why I'm confused when guys are like, wow, this is just mind-blowing information. No, it's not. This is how it's always worked. You need to take those rose-colored glasses off and just look at the world. Just look at the world honestly, and all this stuff. You don't need a fucking psychologist or these guys to tell you. Just look at the world and look at people's actions and how they act in certain situations. And you can basically sum up human nature. It's not complicated.
Well, that's why I say men treat women the way women treat money. Okay? We can talk about that in a second.
Go
But
into it, yeah. When you get a chance, yeah.
what I'm saying here is,
The optionality.
yeah, the men that women want things from are the least likely to give it to them.
Yeah.
And women don't seem to understand that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, sorry, say what I'm saying.
The men that women most want things from are the least likely to give it to them.
Yeah. 100%.
If most women say want commitment, if most women want monogamy, if most women want long-term provision, the men that they want those things from at the top, like 10%,
Yeah.
they're the least likely to give them those things.
Facts.
Correct.
They'll give them a sexual encounter. They don't have any problem with that.
Yeah.
But they're very unlikely to give them those things because it means giving up all this other optionality.
Correct.
Yeah. That they had to fight for. And
Yes,
women really
men have to earn their optionality,
Yeah.
just like women have to earn their money.
Earn it or not.
Women, it's like, would you
Earn it or not. If you're a bum ass dude, you're in the hood, whatever, and you've got 8-9 girls that you could just go and smang out, you're still not giving it up for one. It doesn't matter if you're high value or not. The high value guys are more in the position to exercise being able to have all these women. But there's guys in like little towns, big fish, small pond. They're like the big dog there, but they're not really that, and they're not really that significant. Or they just got a good game, like there's guys that are regular dudes, and I know they got a couple girls that they can go and do their thing with. And they're not gonna give it up. You know why? Because it's there. It's more and it's better. 2 is better than 1 and 5 is better than 2. So why would you willingly give it up? Most people can't. It's hard to do that.
You'd rather spend your own money or somebody else's money?
Yep.
Of course you'd rather spend someone else's money. That is rational.
Yep.
You're very loath to give up your money if you had to put your blood, sweat, and tears into earning it.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Men have to earn their sexual optionality. That's why they're very loath to give it up.
Yep.
They're also more likely to take it when it's offered.
Yeah.
Because I've never heard a woman who was offered money say, no, thank you.
Absolutely.
I have enough money.
Exactly.
Or I have a job.
And I want to say this, and because I want you to expand on that a little bit, and we'll close out. What the top 1%?
Top 10% of men?
This is what I was going to say. Feminism, women being educated, women making money, etc. Women getting all these rights and privileges and all this access. What it inadvertently did, and unforeseen circumstances, and no one talks about this, is it actually has put the top 1% of guys in the driver's seat. They're the ones that really control the sexual.
The top 1% of guys have always been in the driver's seat. They're just a little bit more in the driver's seat. That's all it is. But it's so, like the top guys always had. You could go back to the 70s. Wilt Chamberlain was banged 10,000 women, right? You think there was 10,000 unmarried, uninvolved women? You think rock stars like Mick Jagger was banging unmarried women only? No. A lot of your mamas was getting blasted by these celebrities. It was going backstage getting blasted. It is what it is. And probably hooked up with them on a regular basis when they came in town. Okay, this is not new. It's just the internet and everything's a lot more public and there's more data behind it and surveys. That's all. The milkman came through, was banging your mama or your grandmama. It is what it is. This is not new, okay? Y'all thinking back in the 1950s, these women were just sitting there all, yeah, I've got no option. Nah, they was banging the milkman, this guy, that guy. They was still doing it. Not all of them, but it was a thing. Let's stop acting stupid.
Marketplace. Now, do women in general control it? Absolutely. But the reality is the guys at the absolute top have they control
monopoly.
the sexual marketplace and they control the monopoly.
Yeah.
And women inadvertently did this by increasing their own status because they're slaves to their hypergamy. So therefore, since they're slaves to their hypergamy and men need to always be in the social hierarchy at the top for women to be attracted, they've inadvertently given all the power to a small percentage of men that you just described.
The internet is what did that. I don't care if women right now, if they were all just typists and they all were just secretaries and that was the cap. If they had this technology today and had access to these guys as a typist, they would still leave their guy that made a little bit more money than them. Point blank period. A lot of them still would. You think a girl that's making, let's just say 40K was offered a guy that's making 120K or 150 or a millionaire came at her and her guy was making 70,000? You don't think a lot of them would say, yeah, 70K is good, but with $1 million, I don't even gotta work at all. It's gonna be shopping sprees and I'm out of here. A lot of them would take that deal. So I would agree. Overall, it shrinks their pool, if they have more money, obviously. But the biggest culprit, the thing that allowed this to happen on such a drastic scale is technology, the plane, the car, the internet. All these things combined is what allows this to happen at such a large scale. Okay? Them having a job and all that stuff, people want better. It is what it is. A girl that's making $20 an hour is still going to take a guy that's a lawyer if that came along. She's not going to be like, no, I'm fine with my guy, making 70,000. Some might. I'm not going to deny that, but a lot of them would definitely consider that option. Definitely. They can go on vacation 4 or 5 times a year instead of 1. Yeah, a lot of girls are taking it.
All right, are the least likely to give them what they want. So they have to settle with a guy a lot of times that's on their level or maybe lower, and they can't satisfy that hypergamous tendency. Every girl come on the podcast. Oh, I dated a guy that's a bum. I've dated a guy that's less than me. Where's he at now? That's my famous response. And they never have an answer. It's fucking crickets every single time. So,
yeah, but here's the thing that you're not mentioning, which supports my point. Even the girls that don't work are hypergamous. So your whole thing about them making a lot of money, it has some factor, but it's not the determining factor. Because even the broke dumb girls on your show have practiced the same thing. If you're in the option to practice it, you will. It's human nature. Most of us are very weak to our flesh and very weak to impulse. It is what it is.
Real quick, you have an analogy with men treat women like with the money analogy. Can you tell the audience that one last time?
Yeah, I made a video a while ago. It was entitled "Women Treat Men the Way Men Treat Jobs," and it was kind of.
You know what's funny about this? I've literally commented stuff like this on one of these shows like a long time ago, and I even made a video using the same exact analogy about a year ago. And people were calling me stupid. I don't know what I'm talking about. Now, this guy says it. He's a psychologist and he's on your favorite podcast. All of a sudden it's profound and oh my God, I never thought of it that way. I literally said the same thing.
A way to introduce men to the concept of hypergamy. It's not personal.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Like, you might be at a job, you might not have any problem with your job. You might even be happy with your job. But if you get a call from a recruiter and says, hey, I just got off the phone with this company, they're willing to offer you 3 times your salary. They're going to give you unlimited PTO. You don't have to commute to work anymore.
Bro, I literally used the same analogy.
You're at least going to entertain that offer.
And people call me
And
stupid.
the vast majority of folks aren't going to entertain it for very long. They're going to put in their notice.
Yep.
And they're going to say, and they're going to believe it. They're going to say, I wish you all the best. It was great to work here. You were so wonderful. I really hope that you guys succeed. I just have to do this for my career. That's the right move to make as a career.
Yeah.
Right? And no one is going to say, after all the training we gave you, it's like, of course we understand that they're going to go somewhere else if they offer them 3 times as much money. Like, that's how women treat relationships.
Yeah.
It's not personal.
Not at all.
It's what man offers the most compelling, complete salary package.
That comes back to your rationality that you described earlier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just money. Like, I know women, for example, who will take a pay cut if it means that they have more flexibility with their hours or they don't have to commute. So I have another metaphor that it's like, it's the cat that decides what milk is good. You can't be pouring out milk and be like, cats should like this milk. It's like, if there's no cats drinking your milk, dude, that milk ain't good. The cat decides what milk is good.
Yeah.
You know?
Agreed.
So the market dictates your value.
And it's that woman's preferences
Like
in that
time,
moment.
money, it could be, for example, just lifestyle, whatever she wants as her primary agency. If the man provides it, that might be her goal.
Yes.
And she's
And
going to
as the
choose
weaker
all
sex,
things
that's
being
what
equal.
they're supposed to do. As the weaker sex, that's what they're supposed to do. They need to look out for themselves first, not you. Okay? I know it sounds messed up, but it's not on them to protect you from your feelings and all that crap. They might care. They might actually do care. But do they care more than they care about themselves? Absolutely not, and they shouldn't. Okay?
Well, the man that offers her the best possible option of her available options.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And so the best way to secure the best possible relationship as a man is to be a woman's best possible option.
Yeah.
This is the other flip side of it. It's like, most guys know what it's like to have shitty jobs.
Yeah.
Like we were talking earlier, it takes about 10 years to build anything, right? Now, you might have dealt with low-paying jobs or disrespectful bosses or overbearing colleagues. And imagine after 10 years, you actually land a job where the salary's good and you're doing something meaningful and you like your colleagues and you're excited to go to work. You're not going to do shit to rock the boat in that situation, especially because you know what the job market is like out there.
Yeah.
You could lose this job. It's probably not going to be a step up. Women know what's out there. This is why I always call a bluff on a woman's jealousy tactic, which is other men make me look good. You know what I'm saying?
But here's the thing that he's
nothing
not
to
talking about. This part sounds good, but here's the real of it. Most guys intermingle their wives in their work circles. So here's the issue. You have now brought her to a sector of society where all the men, or most of them, are around your level. So if you do step out of line or do things that you're not supposed to, she actually does have access to men that might be on your level, approaching your level, or above you. That might be single, willing candidates. So yes, in the, let's say the vast public, just the general public, are you above most guys? Yes. But say you are some kind of businessman or whatever, and I don't know, you're a real estate mogul, and now you're going to these real estate events and parties, and you're bringing your wife and everyone. She's mingling and meeting all these people as well. So do not think you are safe because I'm a high value man and she wouldn't rock the boat with me. Nah, nigga. You have now introduced her to a circle where everyone is on an even playing field. You are effectively, unless you are at the top of your field, you are effectively the average man in your field, in your world. Okay?
Fear from the average dude out there.
Yeah.
Go and see for yourself, sweetie. Don't
Like, this is
listen
a
off
big
my
talk
back.
right here, but
So if you
and I don't know where a lot of you guys live, but we all know guys that are in high places that have cheated, that have got cheated on. Not every woman's like, oh my God, I can't lose them.
become a woman's best option, and she's actually had some experience in the sexual marketplace, not necessarily by sleeping around, but just by dating and knowing what kind of men are out there. And she can recognize you as a high value man. You're going to have effortless relationships.
Yeah.
But you have to be significantly her best option.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
go tell that to Scottie Pippen's wife and so many other guys that are at the top of the top or near the top of their field, where their women have left them for other guys in their field. Okay, this is, yeah, like I said, a lot of these guys, they talk a big game. You know, that's how I could tell, like, some of them they aren't who they say they are. You know, they just talk a big game on the camera, because he is not immune. No one is immune, okay? Nobody.
The money thing, real quick. Can you describe that to the audience before we close out? Because you had said women don't want to spend their own money, etc. But there was a metaphor linked to sexual market value. Real quick,
Sure.
Yeah, the money thing.
So I made that video and people said, we'll do the same thing for women. And okay. So I thought about it and I came up with the metaphor that men treat women the way women treat money.
Mm-hmm.
And you might think on the surface, it's kind of the same thing. Women treat men like jobs, men treat women like money. Not the same fucking thing at all, man.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the main reasons why is, what are your associations about work? For most people.
Yeah,
I gotta go to work,
80%
man.
plus hate their jobs.
Got those Mondays, man.
Yep.
What's people's association with getting paid?
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the second Friday of the month. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Okay. So this is what most women don't understand. It's like, I can now go into a bar and in maybe an hour, I can come out with 5 numbers.
Mhm.
Okay. It took me 10 years to be able to pick up a girl in 10 minutes
Mhm.
because I had to become a high value man. I had to overcome my approach anxiety. I had to be charming. I had to learn some game. I had to get my fashion on point.
God
Like,
damn, it took you 10 years, my nigga? God damn, I didn't even get this far in the video. 10 years? Bro. I want to see what you was looking like before, bro.
It had to be someone that a woman would be attracted to relative to my competition.
Mhm.
And she needs to be able to see that in 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Okay. Women don't understand. When she says yes, that's my payday. I've worked for 10 years to get that yes. From her perspective, we just talked for 5 minutes. I
Yeah.
did 10 years of work
Yeah.
to get that yes
Yeah,
in
that's
5 minutes.
crazy.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that's why women don't get it. We do all of that in order to get access to them.
Yeah.
So when we get it, it's payday. We don't think we got to do anything more. What kind of relationship goals do most men have? They're just happy to be there most
Yeah.
of the time. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Simple.
Because it's like, finally, I got the girl. Women have no idea of how hard it is for them.
Yeah, this is something I said a long time ago. I'm glad that he brought this up. But a reason a lot of relationships fail is because guys, when they get the girl, mission accomplished. A lot of women look at it as the adventure just beginning. In their mind, this is where the fun starts. This is where it gets good. And a lot of guys look at it as, all right, I don't have to do all this bullshit anymore. I got what I needed. They take their foot off the gas. And now the girl's like, you've changed. You're not like you used to be. You don't bring me to that place anymore. You used to bring me flowers every third Thursday in the month, and you stopped doing that. Is there another woman? No, the guy just got what he worked his ass off for. Okay, it's a difference in perspective and expectations. That's why I say, guys, set the precedent of who you are from the jump. If you know you're not a dude that's gonna go watch Barbie movies and shit like that in the long term, don't start off doing dumb stuff. Because now, instead of it being a nice gesture as you look at it as, it's precedent, it's mandatory. This is how shit works, dog. And the second you stop, it's like, huh? What's the problem? You got another girl? What's wrong? Why you change? It's like, no, I'm just actually being me now.
For the average man to get a woman. Versus it's just the beginning for the woman.
Oh,
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Bro, this is crazy. I've literally said this. Oh my God. I mean, like years and years ago, before even the red pill space was a thing. I'm talking like 2012, I was telling people this. Wow, this is crazy. Because I didn't get this far in the video. I got about to like the 6-minute mark. Holy crap. Yeah, but exactly that. For the woman, the fun is just beginning. For the guy, it's mission accomplished.
And she might get frustrated, like, where is this? It's like, dude, I just put in a decade of work. Can we just chill here for a while?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one way.
And also, like I said in my last video, you're selling her a lie because you're doing all these things to land the job, right? You put on your best suit, knowing that you like to wear fucking sweats every day. You're talking like, yes, sir. Hi, how you doing? Wow, having a great day? When you're more like, hey, what's going on? Type of guy. You sold her a different person. That's what you did. That's what you did.
Is that men have to earn their sexual opportunity. Mm-hmm. And just like women are unlikely to pass up freely offered money, men are much less likely to pass up freely offered sexual opportunity.
Obviously.
Another part of this metaphor is, if we're talking about money and you went to your financial advisor, do you think he would ever under any circumstances say you need to invest all of your money into one stock?
No, absolutely not.
That would be ludicrous.
Stupid, yeah.
It would be stupid. So a lot of men, let's say, diversify their portfolios. Mm-hmm. And women do that too. That's why we were talking plan B, plan C, plan D, plan Z. They understand
and
this.
And it's because of, like I said, the internet. Internet, the ease of travel, how secretive you could be. It's very easy to exercise these options. It's easy for guys too. If you have, I'm telling you guys, it's not that hard to get laid. A little bit of game, and don't be too fat. You're golden. You're golden. You'll be able to score some. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be 10s and fine women, but women on your level, looks wise, you'll be able to land a couple. Trust me, you can.
That's why they don't like it when men do that. Yeah. It's not because they don't get it. They get it.
That's a taste of their medicine.
Kinda.
Yeah.
That's why they don't love that, because it's like, he's doing kind of what I'm doing here, you know? Mm-hmm. And if I'm doing it, then it evens out that power imbalance, which is generally not looked well on by the person who enters into the situation with more power, which is often the woman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
They're used to being in the driver's seat. But it's ironic because it's like, that's what gets them attracted to you, is that you can kick them off the driver's seat and you're in it. Which is interesting. It's a
fine line, man. It's like, it's almost impossible to walk that line. You know, women want a guy who's confident but not cocky. It's like, okay, you're just walking on the razor's edge, and that's just one of 100 examples I could give.
Agreed.
Yeah. No, man.
But yeah, very well done video. For the most part, it's pretty spot on. But I think a lot of people in this space try to overcomplicate things when it's very simple. It's human nature. It's not this complicated hypergamy, because you can't call it hypergamy for women, but then for guys just exercising options. No, it's everyone exercising options, just in different aspects or different lanes of their life. That's all it is. We exercise with they exercise with partners that have resources. So essentially, they're exercising their options when it comes to resources. We're just exercising our options when it comes to sexual access. But it's the same thing. They're just in the position in this aspect to exercise it more than us in general. But like they said, the guys at the top can do that. But yeah, man, let me know what your thoughts on the comments below. I do think overall it's a very well done video. It wasn't the normal shouting and you dumb bimbo and all that kind of lame stuff that they normally do. So bravo, good on them for that. But let me know what your thoughts on the comments below, and I'm out. Peace.